Good day, everybody. I think some of my videos are not being uploaded properly. Well, they're being uploaded, but they're kind of being like slowly being viewed. I think there's something going on because obviously I've been speaking my mind on a couple other things. And today's March 11th. I got 4 more days before I turn 56. And I kid you not, and I'll be forthright, out of anything I've ever received in my life, um, achievements, whatever. Um, even I was like so happy that I play a certain instrument or sport and all that stuff that we actually have in this realm. Like this knowledge base, and especially this what I've been these last couple of days, what I actually uncovered, beats anything I've ever received in my life. It's almost, as I said, I can kind of rewrite the Bible, and I can actually start from the 15 billion years of the Big Bang, which is a scientific thing, obviously, but it's from a Bible's point of view, and how the Earth was actually created 4.5 billion years ago. And I can actually, I have everything all written down, and it goes all as I said to you guys. So when you understand that one day to God is 1,000 years to us, if there's 365 days to God, there's 365,000 days for us. Okay? But yet he built everything in 7 days, and on the seventh day he rested. So now when you understand that, you start putting those into the equation, then you start understanding that. And there has to do something with when Christ and Daniel spoke about Daniel's 70th week. That kind of coincides with the beginning of the creation based off this number seven and how it all adds up. And you have to understand Shemitah, what a Shemitah is. 7 times 7 is 49, right? But Daniel's 70th week times 7 is 490. The universe works out the exact same number. Believe me, but there's some more numbers added to it. But the universe works off that. So when I gave you that number based off of 2,556,750,000, that is um, one segment of one thing. So when you add those two together, it's actually roughly um, 4.5, right? But it's actually 5 billion. When you add 2.5, that number I gave you, times it by 2, it will work out to be 5 billion. When we finish this last cycle here, when I say what's supposed to be unfolding, when we finish this last cycle, the Earth will be roughly 5 billion years old before it meets its kind of like phase. Okay, there's more to all this. So when you start understanding this, then you talk about the numbers and how these numbers, it talks about the 7,000. But before you go back to the 7,000, you have to understand that 364 right days divided by 7, the number 7, you actually, it works out to be 52. Now when you do 52, right, you minus that by 2, which you get 26. You times 26 by 1,000. 26,000 gives you an equinox precession. Now on top of this, now if you did 26 minus 2, which is 13,000 years, the Vega star moves to the Polaris. This is how the universe works. It's all governed by that. Then you take the 2,000. Every age is actually 2,000 based off of 13. 13 times 2 is 26, right? But you take 2,000 years, which is an end of an age, right? And this is when you take the 2 times the 13 equals the equinox precession. So you have all those numbers all actually encoded within our realm in our time and space. Now, so I'm saying this is why there's a lot of numbers attached to things, but when you understand it, and the numbers I actually give you is based off our time and space in this realm, from 2,000 to 13,000 to 26,000 to 52, which is the 52 times basically, 52 weeks in 52 weeks in a year, which equals to, you times that by 7, right? That works out to be 364. And there's more to it. Obviously, you do 13 times 4. Obviously, when you go to Central America and they built these pyramids with the 4 sides with 91 steps, but there's 4 sides and they're 13, right? There's 13 times that. So there's 13 weeks to to a month, right? Sorry, there's 91 days for a season, right? That's what it works for. So 91 times 4, okay? And then there's 13 times 4, which is a season as well. So all these things don't get me wrong, if I might have screwed up on somewhere, but I mean, just all this thing that, popping in your head. But when you do all the math, everything adds up properly based on this universe. And you'll see a screenshot. And as I actually was actually inputting all my information down, and it's a lot, I realized I just had an old article which I posted a while ago, and it started talking about Enoch. You see what Enoch kind of wrote in the book of in the last days about the cosmic orders, and people will understand the cosmic orders in the last days, which is like I'm actually stumbling on this, and I understand it like fully, and how the Earth was created and how the universe was created based off of the 490, and there's a little bit more equation based off of that. So I actually all uncover that based on that, and when I saw that, I actually got kind of like goosebumps in my body because I can explain it, I can understand it, and obviously I want to share all of it. But sometimes when you share a lot of information, people take it as their own, and they go on these other platforms and saying this is almost like their idea. And obviously I want to share a lot of stuff with you, but it's almost like in a PDF file and separate notes. But the more I share, obviously the more people are going to take from it. So, but the message has to get out there anyways. But nowhere on any platform you're going to hear anything from anybody else from what I'm saying to you guys based off of information I'm going to give you. Um, on that note, you'll see 3 screenshots based off the information, and once you see some of the math equations onto it, I don't give you the full equations based off of it, but I will explain everything eventually. Peace out, stay safe, and stay strong.